5 years ago, I thought I lost you forever. There is no curse that could ever tear me away from you. Will you marry me?
Yes.
Mistress, I have a little bit of news.
Hello, I'm Sophia Jessica, and welcome to the Fan Carpet.
I think one of the main, one of the many reasons that I was excited about this is because I think with the sort of archetype of a Disney prince and the sort of stereotype of coming along and sort of saving the day, that it wasn't really there in this, and I think that was quite refreshing, and there was an opportunity to sort of open up the world with sort of Prince Philip, and I think he was just someone who was trying to find his voice a little bit and trying to figure out what it means to be a sort of ruler. And then I just felt really sort of lucky to join a really great ensemble and support a story that was fresh and bold and exciting.
Similar thing. I just felt that there was a lot there that was very rich. You know, with Connell, there was it was this idea about leadership as well in this community, in this sort of stressed, conflicted tribe, and what they were going through, and these really strong ideas in that area of the story about fear of the other and this and segregated identities and communities and the powers of integration, and all of these things were really present as I was reading it, and it just felt like in so many ways this story was uncovering all of these themes that are so relevant to us all, you know. And so Connell was really just in the center of that, and I was excited to join.
Yes, she has. I mean, 5 years have passed in her life, and she's now Queen of the Moors, and she has this, this new responsibility and new power, and she, like, Prince Philip, there is kind of trying to figure out who she is as a ruler and how to use that power. But Aurora, her strength is her kindness, and also she stays very true to herself, which was something I wanted to keep in the film. She is soft and feminine, and she wants to be a wife and have babies, and there's a beautiful, very, very strong. So that's a very strong thing that isn't portrayed a lot on screen. I would say. I think like a lot of the princesses grow up and they're like, well, we're going to make her a strong princess and make her tough, so we're going to make her fight. And it's like, is that what being a strong woman means? Like, we just have to have a sword and have armor on and fight. It's like Aurora can do that in a different way in a pink dress, and it's beautiful that she keeps her softness and vulnerability. That's her strength.
Yes, I think we all have very complex characters, which is really nice, and not often the case in an ensemble. And the way we balance each other, learn from each other, and change over the years for some of us. And for Maleficent, yes, I loved the first one where we went back and said, well, we think of her as evil and dark. And first movie we asked why and went deeper in. And I think most women, most people have aren't born with a certain hardness and aggression. Something happens along your life where you lose trust, you don't feel safe, and you start to fight in a different way, and you protect yourself in a different way, and then through having a child, she finds her softness again. But then there was a question in this of, well, she's not just soft and trying to be small and cover her horns and adjust. She is a fighter, and she is a creature, and she is all these other things, and is she allowed to be both? And can she find herself or just keep apologizing for that thing within her and stay small? And so she's on her own journey to find out what that means. So I think it has beautiful messages about finding your true self and being it, embracing others. And also one of my favorite themes is that family is not made of blood.
Yeah, it is. I think we sort of tried to imagine what these two people have been up to for 6 years. He'd obviously not flown off.
A lot of strange ideas.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? But it's sort of a little bit less the servant-mistress relationship this time. You know, we become the parent of Aurora. But it's fun. It's nice to imagine he's grown a little bit of courage and she listens to him sometimes.
You know, I always try and operate in this grey area. You know, if I'm playing a protagonist, I try and bring them to the dark side. If I'm playing an antagonist, I bring them to the light. And, you know, for me, that was what I loved so much about the first Maleficent. But to have a character like Borra with, you know, this incredible arc, I mean, this is the type of arc you imagine you have when you're number one on the call sheet in some independent movie that's been based and written around you, you know. To step into the fantasy realm of Disney and, you know, with everything that brings, to learn from, you know, this incredible caliber of actors and human beings, and to have this kind of character with this such a full emotional narrative and arc, you know, this is the dream character in so many ways. And yeah, I kind of feel like we're just scratching the surface. So it's like really exciting to explore Borra and his changing attitudes towards outside influences.
I think it helps to maybe identify where some of the darkness is coming from and what is the true darkness. And really in this film, the Mistress of Evil is less Maleficent and more Queen Ingrid, who is someone who... I'm going to have a soundtrack during this answer. It's okay. Queen Ingrid is, you know, when you see a leader like her who is so angry and so hostile and so much believes that the only way to survive is to destroy the other. We make it very clear in this film that she is afraid, she is weak, and she is ignorant. And that is why she is behaving that way, and that is why she is wrong. And that is why the leaders that need to take place, which would be Aurora's character in the future, are those who see the strength and diversity, appreciate environment, respect for each other, respect for themselves, and are more forward-thinking and have a different vision. So these are themes that many children, many people may see and may not really. It's not political. It's not trying to be. But I do think if in the end you're happy about the way the film ends and it feels right, I think that heads you in the right direction. I think for children it gives a nice guide. I think it's a few things. I think it's not just girls in the film, because we have strong women. We also have the character that is wrong in the film and has to be taken out is also a woman. But we show very diverse types of women between our characters. But also we have extraordinary men in the film. And I really want to press that point, because I think that so often when a story is told to say this is a strong woman, she has to beat the man, or she has to be like the man, or she has to somehow not need the man. And we both very much need and love and learn from the men. And so I think that that's also an important message for young girls, to find their own power, but to respect and learn from the men around them. Disney was very excited about Joachim. And I think it was it's always interesting to work with different directors and have a new take on a film, since our first director made a beautiful film, and then to see new, fresh eyes. Does anybody else have thoughts on Joachim? Or?
I admire it. I mean, it's not an easy task to sort of, take something on this scale with, and manage it all. And I think he did a great job. I love Kin-Tiki. I think it's a great film.
For me, I definitely felt a real responsibility to do the second film because, in the first film, it was the first film that I'd ever done, kind of that scale, and probably only one I've done of this scale, honestly. But so many, young kids saw the film, and especially young girls would come up to me and say, "Oh, you're Aurora," and they would look at me as the character, and I'd never had that with the character before. And so hearing that we would be doing a sequel, I felt a responsibility to those girls, for sure. And I was so excited to get to show Aurora as a young woman and grown up. Obviously in the first film, I was 14 when I did it. I was much younger, and Aurora still has those qualities, that she does, of kindness and innocence and sweetness that she embodies.
So
but
do you.
I got to be strong. Yeah, exactly. But it was so fun to come back. And especially the three of us, we were there in the beginning, and to come back and be reunited, I think. But also our relationships have changed and grown because I'm 21 now and I'm older, so we could, I wasn't the kid on set anymore. I really felt accepted on set in a way, like a part, especially with Michelle and Angelina. They looked at me. It was amazing. It was an amazing feeling because I felt like they included me, like I was one of their peers, and that was a really special feeling to feel that way.
I have a lot. I do. I feel. I love being an artist. I'm not sure that's the. But there are many other things I'd like the other aspects of my work to take over my life a little bit more. So in the years ahead, and really, I just want to raise my children well. They're all at those very special ages where you want to not miss a moment and do your best to get it right before they're out in the world on their own and having to face everything. And you hope you get all the good stuff in. So that's my main focus. But I have some other crazy ideas for future things. We'll see what happens.
Please run for president.
I just think that the design of the film is so extraordinary, and I these vast sound stages that we were on, and every inch of them designed to completion, and then wrapped around in blue and green screen, and so I was very keen to sort of look and see what everything was going to look like and what everything was going to feel like, and looking at these images and getting some idea, but. Nothing. I wasn't really prepared for the actual visual language of the film, and the scale of it and the ambition of it is really remarkable. It was just sort of staggering to look at and to finally sort of see all fully rendered. An amazing achievement.
Yeah, I think we have had lots of ideas. Well, we'd like to be grandparents.
Yeah. No pressure, guys.
You're saying I might be with the Dark Fae by then?
If anything happened to, there was, okay.
Wow.
Sorry you had to hear that now, so early on.
Public
we spoke about different things during the film, so
it's like Jerry Springer.
Like Ed's not even speaking about that. He's not even going to keep you quiet. I think there's lots of one of the things that's interesting is, without realizing it, we've hit the chapters of the growth of a woman, right? We've hit her from her birth and her christening to her being a little girl, being a teenage girl, to now being a wife. And so, in a way, the chapters are following a few things, but one of them is how a woman grows and evolves. And so soon, it does make sense that now there's this chapter for Aurora as wife, mother, queen, and what is that? And then, And now we've met and the Dark Fae are in, so what is the future for the Dark Fae and do they return? And personally, I like the idea of getting out of England in the story, like basing England, but going into the world, because we have such a diverse, the Dark Fae represent the world. And so I would love to see them in the world and across the world. God knows what they're doing.
She says,
I don't
I'm
know what
back,
they're doing.
location.
Location. It takes a second. Well, the guys know now. I mean, the wire work, it was actually fun for me because usually I'm the only one with horns flying. And then to watch everybody else and think, watch, you're about to break your horn off. And then it is, you get in the wire work and your horns are hitting. It's such just so many different funny things to think about. You nearly impaled me once flying.
Yeah. Yeah, the one thing I learned with the wire work is it's all in the glutes. It's all in the bum, If you tense your bum and your core, then you're strong up there. And, I'm not sure you guys expected to be talking about bums and glutes in this press conference. Sorry to take it there. But, no, it was great fun. It was amazing.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for more content next time.
Tell me what happened.
There was another creature.
You've spent years caring for a human.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.